it's Amanda from I Sew A Lot, and this vlog is about my October makes, and I'm really excited because I've had quite a productive month, so I just want to show you what I've made. So the first thing that I've made is what I'm wearing. So if I just move back so you can see, and it's from a lovely French terry that I got from Fabric Godmother in a nice blush pink. I did say in my plans video that I was going to make a seam work magazine Astoria, but given the weather changed very suddenly, it was cropped and it had a short 3/4 length sleeve. I think you can make it with a long sleeve, but I thought as the weather's changed I'd probably be more likely to wear a longer sweater with longer sleeves. So I went for my old faithful Simplicity 1317, you can see it. The artwork on the packet is rubbish. I don't know who styled that pattern, but don't be fooled. It's a really good pattern. I think this is probably about the 6th one I've made, and I would definitely recommend it. The only thing I have to do is add a little bit of length to it. The only trouble I did have, and if I could just show you, because I'm really pleased with how the neckline turned out, but the only thing with it was, because it was French terry, it doesn't have a lot of stretch, so I was a little bit worried that the neckline wouldn't stretch enough to make it sit properly. So I actually added a little bit of length to the neckband, and I wish that I hadn't, because it is slightly large. I mean, I don't think it really matters, but the neckline, I am pleased with the finish of it, but that's the only thing. It kind of stands away from my shoulders slightly. And I do have a tip with regard to doing neckbands, because I've sewn so many of these. I would recommend, if you are doing a neckband for jersey, what I do is I fold it in half and then I baste it together. So then that avoids, and especially with lightweight jerseys, that avoids it rolling when you're trying to stitch it, because obviously as you stretch it, it has a tendency to roll up on itself and it makes it really difficult to get it even. So I would say, that's my tip. Make sure that you baste it together. It's got to be basting because it still needs to be able to stretch, whereas obviously if you do a shorter length stitch you won't be able to get that stretch out of it. The other thing you could do obviously is zigzag it together, and then I stitch it on. And then also I think, and I don't think the pattern tells you to do this, but I think the one thing that finishes necklines is, as you can see, if you top stitch using obviously a top stitching length. I think I use 3.5 around it, and that makes it lie flat, and it also looks a bit more professional. So I love that. Okay, the next make I have is, I did actually get sewn up my Halloween themed Oliver and S shirts, sketchbook shirts. And obviously I've got twins, so they're exactly the same, but one's got white buttons and one's got black. I'm really pleased with how they turn out. This is the pattern, in case you aren't aware, but I've probably shown it to you about 1,000,000 times. And I really liked the last one I did, because I used a contrasting fabric for the yoke and the plackets and the undercollar, and I decided that because it was quite a busy print, that would be the best way to go with these as well. I'm going to try, if I can, and insert a picture of them wearing them, because they do look really cute. And yeah, turned out really well. Obviously I've made this shirt a few times now, so yeah, really good. Top stitching really good. It's got a nice little pleat in the back there. The only thing I will say, if you are thinking of making this pattern, it does come up a little short, and as I said in my seamstress tag video, the one thing that I have made recently, which has been a disaster, is I made the first one I made of these and it's too short, which I bought some really lovely Robert Kaufman chambray, and I took ages to get snaps on it, and now it's too short, because I don't know if he's had a growth spurt, probably not. But anyway, so I make the size for their age, but I have had to add about 2 inches on the length. And the only other thing is, it does come up quite wide, so you could take some off the side seams, although the sleeve seems to be quite high, the arm cycle seems to be quite high, so you wouldn't want to take too much off, otherwise it might dig in. I also, as in my other ones, did French seams. I don't know if you can really see that, even around the arms, which I think gives a really nice finish, and yeah, really pleased with them. Okay, so my next make, I'm going to have to get changed, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, here we go. This is my next make, and I know what you're thinking. How come it's navy when the fabric that she had last time was pale blue? Well, when I had lots and lots of lovely comments about the lovely cotton and steel birch floral rayon that I showed in my last video, and a lot of people said make a shift dress, because I was a bit worried about ruining the print because it's so beautiful. So I had a lot of comments and lots of people said make a shift dress. So I went to cut out shift dress, and then I realised, as I only had 1.5 meters, forgetting how narrow this fabric is, I didn't have enough. So I had to order another metre, which fortunately has arrived and seems to be a really good match, even though I didn't get it from the same place. So I was a bit worried that it might be a different dye lot. And as I was looking on the website, I saw the navy, which is what I wanted originally. I purchased it from M is for Make, but unfortunately when I bought the lighter blue, they didn't have any navy, it was sold out. But this is from a different company. I think it's called Leonaloo or something, but I'll put the link down below. And the navy just jumped in my basket. I don't know how it happened, but it did. And when it turned up, I thought, I actually like the navy better, which is what I originally wanted anyway. So I have made a shift dress. Let me just show you. Oh, I don't know if you can see very well. Hang on, let me just adjust the camera better. And totally stealing the look from Lisa Comfort of Sew Over It with a belt, but I really, really like it. This is the second one I've made this month, so I've got another one to show you in a minute, but the pattern, the fabric, sorry, is beautiful. I love it. So yeah, I don't really have much to say about it. I will put my next make on and show you that. Hang on just one. Okay, so next make is another shift dress. Obviously you'll recognise the fabric from my fabric haul video. I had a nightmare with this dress. I cut the usual size 8. Every time I've made a Sew Over It pattern, I've been in size 8. I checked the measurements and they all seemed fine. If anything, for my size, they're a little bit generous. And I sewed it together and it was so tight on the hips. And I was really disappointed. I had to take it out loads, and in places, unfortunately, you can see just the edge of my overlocking. But if I stand back, you can see how small it is. It's around here. I think it's okay. It's obviously a bit staticky, but I was really disappointed, and I couldn't understand why, because usually Sew Over It, their sizing is really, really great for me. It really, really works. And then I realised that I had, when I printed it, because it was a PDF, I shrank to fit. So that's why it didn't fit. And I've reprinted it since and cut it again, and the difference is massive. So mental note, always check that it is printing at actual size rather than shrink to fit. If I just show you the pattern, obviously everybody knows about this pattern because it's so lovely, but it's the Sew Over It shift dress, and for this version I did the 3/4 length sleeves. I also not only made it too small, but the fabric, whilst I love this fabric, there is absolutely no giving it whatsoever. So whilst I can just about get away with it, it's not the most comfortable dress. It's tight on the hips, it's tight around the arms, it's tight across the back, it's tight everywhere. But I think, you know, it'll do for work. I'm not too worried. And now I've made the other shift dress, which I love. I don't feel so sad about it. And that fitted fine. I cut a size 8, but I was cautious and did use a 1 centimetre seam allowance for the whole lot. But I probably could have got away with the usual 1.5. but I quite like the way it fits. So thumbs up for this pattern. Last make, and the grand finale, the one that I am most pleased with is, and I can't believe I actually managed to stick 75 pages of PDF together, but I managed to make the seamwork Camden Cape. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen my picture, although my picture was pretty rubbish, to be honest, because it was on my dummy, and everything looks rubbish when you put it on your dummy. But it is, and let me show you, in a lovely brown wool, and it has a brushed cotton tartan lining. And people, I have just come across Fabworks Mill. Oh my goodness, their fabric is so reasonable. And I thought, oh right, it was so strange because the day before I uploaded my last vlog to say, oh, the wool's expensive, I can't find the right wool, where am I going to find it? Fabworks started following me on Instagram, and I had a look on their website, and it was a sign. So anyway, I bought some of this lovely brown wool. I made my own covered buttons because I think that gives it a professional finish. The only thing I did do is obviously put the buttons on the wrong way around, which is really annoying. But yeah, it's supposed to be a 3-hour pattern. It took me 2.5 hours pretty much to stick all the PDF pieces together, but it's definitely not a 3-hour make. I mean, I'm not a quick sewer, I think I'm pretty average speed wise, but it did take me a long time. The actual assembly doesn't take a long time, but obviously you've got to hand stitch the whole of the hem, which is massive, but I love it. I've worn it loads. When I was making it, I was thinking, oh, is it a little bit ostentatious? Will I wear it? But I've worn it every day since I've made it, and it's really warm. When the wool turned up, because I'd never sewn anything with actual wool before, I thought, oh, it's quite thin, might not be warm enough, but it's been lovely. I really, really like it. So I would definitely recommend Fabworks if you're looking to make a winter coat or a winter cape, because they are so reasonable, and they do next day delivery. Obviously you've got to pay for that, but it comes within 24 hours, so it's brilliant, especially if you're impatient the way that I am. So that is it, that's all my makes, and I am hoping to upload a fabric haul and plans video because I've gone a bit crazy with my fabric buying, unfortunately. But yeah, so I've got some things that I've got in mind for next month, so that will be coming soon. Thanks for watching, give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and click subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you, bye!